And there could be another casualty of Superstorm Sandy. Verizon says it won't replace those traditional phone lines damaged by the disaster. Michelle Miller looks at why the solution is leaving some feeling disconnected.
How much water came up?
A little under 2 feet of water.
Walter Veth hasn't had a phone line inside his home since Superstorm Sandy blasted Manahawkin, New Jersey over 8 months ago.
I assume since the telephone service would be one of the easier services to install that we would have service.
But Verizon, the company that owns the phone lines, has decided not to replace the copper wire infrastructure that once provided Veth and hundreds of other residents here with a landline. When Sandy hit, phone lines like this one were snapped. Others underground were flooded out. For 855 homeowners, that meant the end of hardline phone service as they knew it. Instead, Verizon is offering customers an alternative system called VoiceLink, a home phone service that runs on a cellular network. But Veth, like many other residents here, is hesitant to have the system installed, saying the service is unreliable and is incompatible with his home security system and fax machine. So are people just not willing to adapt?
I think people have a tendency to reach their comfort zone.
Tom McGuire is the Verizon executive in charge of operations. He says that all digital landlines are the wave of the future. Are we seeing the end of copper?
I think the bigger question is not whether or not copper is actually going to physically be out there, but will anybody really care that it's out there, or are they going to be using other technologies to communicate with their friends and relatives?
McGuire insists that the VoiceLink technology being offered to homeowners comes with the same capabilities as a traditional landline, including access to emergency services and security systems. But advocacy groups like the AARP oppose Verizon's plan, saying more research needs to be done before abandoning the landline.
If you can't pick up the phone and dial 0 and get an operator, and you can't use your life alert system, and you can't use your home security system, and there's a burglar at your door, those are basic necessities. And we need to make sure that there are consumer protections in place.
If state legislators put a stop to Verizon's plan, the company will have no choice but to restore its copper lines. But if the plan is approved, landlines that have existed for more than a century could soon be a thing of the past. For CBS This Morning, Michelle Miller, Manahawkin, New Jersey.
Such an interesting story, because if you talk to young people...
None of them have landlines.
None of them have landlines, yeah.
But I keep one because sometimes you want to have an important phone call, and maybe even overseas, you want to have a connection that's clear.
Right, and as she pointed out, for people's alarm systems and others, you need a landline.